Hello, traders. How are you? Welcome. My name is Anna DeShields, and today is Friday, 9/8/2023. And um, going ahead and doing a live session. So I'm just going to go ahead and get set up. So I'll be right there. Okay, great. Sorry about that. I had to go ahead and get this new system down. It's something new to get used to. So I'm doing my best. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, let me go ahead. So what we're going to do for this period of time on live is I'm going to go ahead and do my analysis for Bitcoin for this afternoon. So I have some information that I had already gathered this morning. And so I'm just going to review it with you and share it. And then we'll just go ahead and go through the information and see what we learned from it. Thank you all for joining. And I apologize if I miss your comments because um, they don't give you a notification, unfortunately, when chats come in. I realize with a popular big broadcast, you don't want to be bombarded with a bunch of beeps. But when you're starting to grow, you need those beeps. So all is well. Okay, so let's dive into this. First, let me go ahead and show this disclaimer real quick. Okay, good. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll get into what I want to review today. So we're going to look at Bitcoin. I guess I'll go ahead and show you my Bitcoin chart, and then I'll show you the information data sheet that I have off of the information that I gathered. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you know what? I just realized. All right, got the right view that I want. Let me see. I'm going to wait for it to take effect. Okay, good. All right, now hopefully this comes across okay. Let me just make sure. I'm going to expand this really big so I can make sure this is coming over how I want. I had a recording that I did earlier this week. If you want to catch the recording, it was done at 8:30, and I didn't have the layout right. So it's a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress. All is well. Okay, looks like you can see this pretty well. I don't know why they don't let you have it bigger, the full length of it. All right, you know what, traders? I want to make sure this is set up correctly, so I will be right back. Okay, traders, I am back and just trying to see here how we can get this to larger for you guys. See how that looks. Okay, looks like it's looking good. All right, let's see how that goes. See if I can hear you. Oh yeah, that's going to be a delay. I don't want that. All right, let's see. It's still looking like it's not sharing that whole screen. Excuse me. Well, I don't know. We're just going to have to make do with what we have. So let me go ahead and go back to stop sharing here. And it's going to take me back to live. Okay. All right. We're going to work out the issues. Let me go ahead and share how this Excel looks, because that's our next thing we need to look at. Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and read that. Okay. You want to win. Oh, you know what? They have select the tab to share. Oh, you can do the entire screen. Okay. Screen 4. Let me go to window. Nope, that's not what I wanted to share. Okay, that's not what I wanted to share. All right, bear with me. Why it doesn't say my Excel sheet? I just had it. Okay, see how that comes across. Hopefully that looks well. Oh, you know what though? Because now I can't use that without looking away from you traders. Jeez Louise. Okay. Before I got on, traders, sorry about that. This was set up good. So let's see here. Let's see. Stop sharing. Here it is. Okay, there. Got it. Yippee! That's much better. All right, so let me move this out now. Okay. So you guys can see it. All right, here we go. Good, good, good. Okay, so this is an Excel sheet that I made. I keep my data that I collect from my intraday top-down analysis, and these are the items, the confluences that are important to me, that I care about when I do my analysis for my bias for Bitcoin. So this information I took this morning, and then I took it also today. I mean, yesterday, and I took this morning. So I just want to go ahead and go over it because now I want to go back and look for our play. What is going on? So it's 1:28 Eastern time, and so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go through if I was doing this by myself and share with you what I'm doing and the information that I'm extracting. So let me go ahead and put this over here really quickly. Oh, shoot. I just closed you out. Goodness. Just a second. Okay. Mute this. And I'll pull this out. All right. Hopefully we can edit this later. You don't have to hear all this in the beginning. Okay. Here we are. So on the 15-minute, let's just read what our 15-minute has here. The trend was selling. That was this morning. 11 and 20 Exodus cross. So for me, this is the EMAs that are crossing, and yes, for the sell. And when did it happen? So it happened at 3:30. Now with this Exodus cross, which I totally love, and let me show you what I'm referring to because it's super dynamite, super super dynamite. Okay, watching for that to switch over. I wish it would default to the right kind of setting you want. Oh, and you know what else is missing? Let's see what this. Let me go ahead and put this one thing in that's missing from here. Oh, wrong one. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. Geez, it's been 16 minutes already. Sorry, traders. Okay, we're going to go ahead. And so this is what I was referring to for the 15-minute, that 15-minute cross. Let's go ahead and look at that because it is total fire. And then we're going to refresh these alerts so we can get them off of our screen. Okay, there they are. All right, I'm watching my chart to make sure it loads correctly. I don't want to keep talking and then it not load. Okay, it must be sharing the wrong screen. Is what must be happening here. Yep. Okay. So we need to stop share. And reshare again, the right page. This one. Okay. All this turning around really messes you up. Okay. I will get this. I have to figure out how you can switch those screens quickly. Because I have a bunch of screens that I use, and you think it would just let you pick each one. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, so here we are, traders. And if I'm missing. Hello, I think I have someone joining me. Welcome. Please say hello. That would be awesome. If I miss your comment, I apologize. Okay. Let's see. All right. Back to here. Okay. Now, oh, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, good. Okay. So here, traders, this is what I was talking about. This cross here, this signal here, so this is short. When you have that, I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to hide this for a minute because I'm not quite sure what it's a part of. Let's look at what this is for. This is where I use the object tree in trading view. And that's another thing that I'll go over when I'm on here with you traders. But we'll go ahead. This is a 4-hour supply zone that I have marked here. So I'm going to take this and put it on the 1 hour. Take this off so it's not in our way. Okay. Now, this is what I'm referring to. This cross here off of the 2 EMAs. When this happens, traders, there is like a huge surge to the downside. It's beautiful. It can go about on average 4 wave levels. So what that is traders, is the trend is shifting. Short-term trend is shifting. And when you actually have the cross, you have a huge momentum to the downside. So here for Bitcoin, we'll measure it and you'll see that this went 539 pips. And also what the beauty of it is as well, when it plays out correctly, is you have very, very minimal risk. Look at that. You didn't use any type of your stop loss if you needed to. So I'll go ahead and put that on our risk to reward tool. That's going to be our short. So getting in here and then taking it down. Now, the way you do this, traders, is, and I'm giving you guys nuggets here. So I hope you're excited. Your feedback is awesome. I appreciate it. Going ahead and taking this trade, what we're saying and what I do is that I say, okay, I am going to go ahead and expect for price to make a 100% retracement, and if not more from here. Now, from the most recent low. So you could choose this as your most recent low or the one that's more obvious. But if you chose this one, then yes, price did make the 100% retracement. But let me just show you how I do the whole play, and then I'll explain it. So I go ahead and I grab my fib. And I do a low to high because I'm saying I want price to make a 100% retracement off of this move. So if I put my fib here and put it on the type of fib that I need, okay, so here, this needs to be orange, sorry. Okay. Oh, you know what? It was because it's, let me go back and change that because that's actually incorrect. It's very important for, I don't know how you traders trade, but color coding for the time frames is a big thing for me. And so this actually on white is this pink color. So that's kind of why it threw me off. But anyway, here is the trade. So the sell, I expect a huge surge to the downside. And again, I got it perfect. I'm expecting it to make a 100% retracement. Yes, that's what I'm asking for price to do. And I realize that, and that's fine. Now, here, so then what I go ahead and do is I use my fib projections, and right here's a 100% retracement, and I actually set TP zones remember, this is for educational purposes. I'm not telling you what to trade. I'm not telling you how to trade. I'm showing you what I do and off of an analysis. I gave the disclaimer earlier in the recording, so please be advised of that. Okay, so going down to the one, and then exit zones are 127, 138, or 161. Now, when price gets down to this zone, expect a bounce because these are very strong levels of support and resistance. Now, we see here, if I did this low to high on this fib, price did not yet make a 100% retracement. So I've been using this method for a while now, maybe over a year now. And if price doesn't make the move and make the 100% retracement, I would say it usually moves fast. It's a big surge of energy. It's like you plug something into the wall and boom, you forgot that you left the radio on and the speakers were blaring, and you plug your radio into the wall and then you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta turn that down. That's what happens when these two EMAs cross and price reacts. These two short EMAs are switching. So I expect a huge surge down when it doesn't happen right away, meaning, I don't know, within 15 minutes or so or something, maybe even, or I don't know, when it, not more than an hour, put it that way. Now here, and since it didn't, then I say, okay, either go ahead and take my profit because I'm just looking for something right now. I'm not looking to hold this maybe an hour from now, 2 hours from now. Price could go ahead and very well keep moving down, but I'm using this play as something that's going to happen very soon. But regardless, even though it didn't play very soon, it still was a nice fall and a nice amount of pips available for you, 501 pips. So that is the Exodus cross, and I love it. And so before I go back to the Excel sheet, I'll go ahead and, so because we're going to reference that Excel sheet as we have our time together. But I start my low to high fib here. I just use the projection tools. I expect a 100% retracement, and then even if a harder sell down into these zones as well. Now, I had shared with you, you know what, I want to make sure you guys can see this. I had shared with you too that we could have chose a more recent low, which is this one right here. More recent low here at September 7th. And in fact, price did do a 100% retracement here, almost made it to the 127, and now has a little pullback. So if you chose to choose that low, that would be fine. You went ahead and got your profits. You are expecting price to make a 100% retracement. It did. And then your stop loss, let's talk about stop loss. So when this type of setup sets up for you on this time frame, you can put your stop loss actually right here, right above the cross if you want, the high there, maybe the high here, or you can go up to like the high for the time frame that it is. But you don't have to use a lot from the move, because when you back test this, you'll see that, wow, you don't really have much pullback when that happens. So this here is a great trade, 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So very nice play. And so that's my Exodus cross that I call it. And that's the 11 and 21 EMA with the cross. And so then when I go back, I'm going to go ahead and bring up that Excel sheet. Let me go ahead and stop share there. Okay, so now go ahead and bring up that Excel sheet that we were looking at and go from there. All right. Now, So here the question is number 2. Do you have the Exodus cross? Yes, it was for the sell. When did it happen? When did it happen? I said this morning. The one prior to this one that we just had now was at 3:30 this morning. And then I go ahead and make my notes there. 11 and 21 EMAs are spread nice. It did have a nice sell from this Exodus cross. So it makes sense on the width of the EMAs. It sold for 512 pips. So I made that note this morning at 8:29. That was off of that play earlier. So that information I record for each time frame actually. So here you'll notice on the day this Exodus cross happened 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And of course, because it's a short-term trend change. So that's okay. But the type of trader that I am is I like to have this information, this historical information in front of me that I like to reference and just get all kinds of revelation from it that the Lord drops into me. Then here on the 4-hour, it happened on September 7th. So today is the 8th. Okay, so just yesterday. And then on the 2-hour time frame, it happened, 10 candles ago, so 20 hours ago. So again, that was yesterday because it's a smaller time frame. And then the cross happened on the 1-hour at 8:07 a.m. I should have put a.m. here. Oh, I did put a.m. It just didn't go down far enough. Okay. All right. Let me just wrap that because that won't bother me. Okay. Anyway, okay. So that happened, and then these are my notes from it. So for 9/8 at 8:07, got the sell cross on the 1-hour, could take to the last line of defense on the 2-hour fib. So we'll go ahead and look at that in just a minute. But now let's go on to the next confluence that I use is the channel. Where was the channel at on these different time frames for Bitcoin today, this morning when I did the analysis? The day is in a descending channel and price is at the middle. On the 4-hour as well, it broke the top for the sell down. On the 2-hour, it's very close to the top, okay? And then the 1-hour, it was at the bottom. Now that was this morning when I recorded this data. And then at the 15-minute, it was at the top. So that gives us a nice picture of all time frames of where price was at in regards to our confluence for our channel. So right now, let's go ahead and look at this information on our chart. You'll have to just remember that I said that when I will look at it because I'll be able to see the Excel sheet instead of trying to flip back and forth. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and bring up the chart. Boy, this sharing screen is a bit of a hassle, huh? Okay, so we're going to remember what that channel data was. And I actually have a different chart for my channel. And so I'm wondering if I have to stop that share and choose the other one. So just a minute. Let me see that I have it up. No, I don't have that up. Let's see. Hopefully I can figure this out where I don't have to keep stopping and resharing the correct screen. That's just a little bit too much. So let me go ahead and get that channel chart up. And hopefully you should just be able to toggle between the two tabs that you have open. It's a bummer that you can't do that. Oh, look, you can hit share this tab instead. Okay, I like that. So let's do that. That was pretty cool. I'm going to wait to make sure it shared it before I start talking about it. I'm watching for. Okay, good. It did. All right. So here's my channel chart. Now we're on the 4-hour. So I'm going to just read off to you what that data said that I had collected with the Excel sheet. Oops. For the channel information. Okay. So the channel on the 4-hour was descending and it broke the channel. So let's look at that here, traders. So when I captured this information at 7:14 this morning, I have price touched the top of the channel and then bounced off. So here we can see that move, the almost to the touch and then the bounce down. This is our I'm not sure what that one, if that's the same one that we just did, risk to reward off of that Exodus cross. But anyhow, here is our descending channel. Now, how many of you traders know how to draw channels? How many of you traders know how to draw channels? So for a channel, you need a peak, and a valley, 2 touches and the bottom. Some people just draw trend lines, and that's fine too. My mentor taught us to go ahead and do the actual parallel channel, and that's what this is. And so we have it. And for me, how I draw my analysis, my charts, my fibs, I really do it on the most recent move for that time frame. I am a scalper, an intraday, a swing trader. I do it all. So some traders that are just swing or more long-term intraday, they'll go for the obvious bigger swings and do their chart markup from there. But since I'm a scalper all the way up to swing, I then know, well, you know what, if I want to go further back in this channel, I'll just go ahead and it'll put me into my day channel. Or if I'm on my 1-hour and it breaks that information, they'll say, you know what, this is really my 4-hour channel, and I'll go to my 4-hour time frame. So that's how I do my channels. Of course, you could have seen that, well, you could start here and go down. Yes, you very well could have. No problem. I just chose not to. I'm just going ahead and doing the most recent move. So also, traders, with TradingView, that's what I use. I really do enjoy how they allow you to organize your information. So here for my descending channel, I want to show you how many of you traders use the object tree. How many of you traders use the object tree? See if I have any comments. No comments. Okay. Well, if you don't use the object tree, you're not really sure how to use it, let me show you. So here is my channel, and I'm going to go ahead and this is the object tree down here, and you select it. And what the object tree is so great about is it lets you organize all of your elements on your chart into folders. And so that's what I've done here. So here is an example. Here's my 4-hour channels chart. I made it a year ago. So there's a lot of channels in here on Bitcoin. And so here is my most recent one. When it's highlighted, that lets you know that's the channel that the element that you're currently on. And so what I do, traders, is I name my channel based on the peak or the valley that the channel was made. If it's ascending or descending, excuse me, from the highest peak that I chose, the first one. If it's ascending, it would be the lowest peak. That way I can quickly find out which channel that belongs to. Because if you don't do that, traders, then what you get is this. I'll show you. it'll just say channel. If I do a channel from here to here, say, see how it just says parallel channel, and that's it right up here in the top right here. It just says parallel channel. Well, I don't know when that sucker started. I don't want to have to, I can look down below and it will tell me, but I just like that type of organization. So if this was my channel, I would say, okay, so let me move you over here a little bit so I can see. I would say, it started on August 22nd. So I would go ahead and rename this and then I list the time frame. It's a 4-hour time frame. Excuse me, I'm just writing around my mic. And then the type of channel it is. And then I write the date of when I made this channel. There, now it's a little bit more detailed, more informative for me, more useful. So I go ahead and just bring that sucker down and plop it into my 4-hour folder. So I believe that's it. Yep, this is it. And so that's not the right color. I need to change that to the right color for my time frame. All right, and that's there. You have it now more organized and in your folder. Now, in order to get this folder, I'm going to delete this because I don't want it. In order to get a folder like this, here's 2 parallel channels. I don't know where they are or what they belong to. I didn't organize it. So you can, for me, I use Windows. So I hit Control or Shift, and then the other one, I pick which one I want. So you can just pick as many different objects that you want or deselect them, and then right click, and it will say put in the folder. Hold on, there's a move going on. That is happening. We're having a cross. Okay, so we'll click this real quick and then select create a group in drawings, and then it puts those 2 elements in a group into a folder, and then you just can rename it. I'm just going to write test, and now those 2 elements are in this folder. So that's pretty helpful. All right. And so what that looks like is something like this. I have a folder for text boxes with different information that I have in there, support and resistance levels. I have a notes on classes, these classes that I teach. I have the information, I drop it in there so I can quickly reference that class. And then these are all of my channels for the different time frames. So it's very, 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 very helpful. And also shows proof of work that, you have experience in the charts. I like how it organizes for you. Some traders don't keep all of this data, which is fine. I do, and I'm glad I do. I find it very useful and just type of person I am. So that's how you use the object tree, or that's how I use the object tree. One of the uses I use it for. Okay, so let me go ahead and, oh good, that would have been awful if I did all of that and it didn't show. Goodness gracious. So let me go ahead and close this alert. All right, so back to that Excel sheet. Let me come to you real quick. All right, traders. So far, we've looked at this Excel sheet with the data that I collected, and then I showed you how to use the object tree, or how I use it. So let's go back to that Excel sheet and look at the next bit of information from it that we can look at the charts on it. Okay, so Oh, I do. We're still looking at that channel. So let's go ahead and continue to look at those channels. Kind of got lost on that, which I hope you were able to get some good nuggets from that. Okay, so the 15-minute says that the channel is ascending and that price was at the top on the 15-minute. And so that's what I want to look at right now, traders, just to kind of see what's going on in the play available. Oh, you know what? Darn it, I have it on that wrong view. Okay. All right, so here's the channel that Excel sheet was referencing from this morning that I did. And I did that at 8:32. So this was the channel. And I said, prices near the top of this channel to stay in the 1 hour EMAs of selling, slight room to break the channel. So the this is at 6. So here we are. Price is near the top of the channel to stay in the 1 hour's EMAs of selling, slight room to break the channel. So it did break the channel, okay, and then is playing around here, which is fine, consolidating. So we're looking for a nice breakout, but that's good to see with what we're looking, because we're looking to see what is our intraday play for Bitcoin today. So we see we're in consolidation. It did buy up to the top of the channel, then break out. And so traders, you know that you can also trade from the top of the channel to the bottom of the channel. And so the 15-minute is a great time frame where just throw a channel on it and you can trade the channel until it does more of the move that you're looking for the bigger play, the intraday setup. So or if you're in the swing trade and you want something smaller, you could go down to your 15-minute and, get the most, I'd say up to an hour and 45 minutes worth of market movement for your channel or whatever is going on there. Maybe putting fibs on there. Okay, so, all right, so price broke out of the channel. All right. Now let's move on to the next topic that I have here. All right, next one is the beach levels. So these are called beach levels, and it's I can't give them out on how to get them. I'm with a educational platform, and if you're interested in joining, you will be able to have you'll be able to have access to these indicators and the other ones, also these waves here. You'll also be able to have access to them. So that sheet there, I'm going to go back to you. That sheet there is referencing those beach levels. So let me go ahead and share that sheet. Boy, this is a lot of back and forth. Trying to figure out with Zoom, it seemed a little bit, maybe just because I've been such a Zoom user. Okay, now I have the Zoom on, the Zoom sheet on. All right, let me make sure you're caught up with me. Okay, good. There you are. So here we're at the beach levels, and now we have it for the time, all the time frames. I want to know where price is at on the day beach levels. It's at the 1. I also want to know for the 4 hour, the 2 hour, and the 1 hour. So I have it all laid out horizontally here because I find that very useful. I can quickly see the comparison of all the different time frames. I didn't do the 5 minute. That's why it says click on sell, because I didn't fill that out, which is fine. And then I wanted the number for each level. And yes, they were, they were at that number. Um, and then it says enter beach levels if in between or notes on the beach levels. Sometimes there's information that we want to know, like price keeps retesting the strong area of support and resistance, and um, waiting for the 1 hour to close above it. Maybe I would have put something like that if that was the situation. So there wasn't any type of situation like that. So I just left me a note saying, hey, this is still accurate information. It's still the correct number, because as you see at the bottom of this, you develop tabs for each day with the information that you have. So it's really pretty cool. And then the score. What's the score for this trade? Because traders, we don't want to take every trade that we see. Top traders are analyzing and going by a playbook and seeing if this setup matches their playbook, and they assign a score to it. So what's the score for each of these time frames I would list here? I would enter that information here. Okay. And then alerts. Sometimes I might put alerts on these levels because I want to know if prices move past them, to know if I need to continue on or how to manage my trade. So that's why I have here, do you have alerts set? This is one app that I use, and then I have another one if you maybe made alerts on TradingView. So that's what that's all for. And now down to the MAs, the moving averages. These are my moving average that I use for my confluence, the 800, the 200, and the 50. And then the results from my bias and what I noticed. So for the moving averages, the 800 on the day. Now, this is really pretty good information, especially for Bitcoin. So capturing this data over a year or whatever, it's really great to go back and look at. So here, price is 800 pips above current, 1,763 pips above current market price. On the 4-hour, we're at 1,700. And on the 2-hour, we're 2,000 pips above, the 800 is above current market price. And then 1 hour. So obviously the 800 is the last average of the last 800 candles on that time frame. So this does come into play with my trades, and I like to use it and be able to see when it's approaching. So that's why I track that data. And then the 200, the famous 200, where price is at, how far away. So here, that was pretty good information. So for example, on the 1 hour, the 200 was 150 pips above current market price. That's what CMP stands for. See if it stays in the selling mode, at least for this time frame, we are in selling pressure. Okay, so that's good. Price is only 600 pips above current. The 200 is only 618 pips above current market price at 746 this morning. 600 pips for Bitcoin is nothing. So the trend can change here on these time frames. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now, to see what she does. Is she going to buy up, or is she going to continue to sell, or what is she doing? So today's Friday. We could anticipate a nice move today. Tomorrow she'll consolidate for the day, mostly during the day, make a move in the morning, and then consolidation into the rest of the day, perhaps, well, mostly consolidation. And then Sunday, as you know, is a nice day that she likes to move in the late afternoon and early morning. So that's the location for price on the EMAs. And for the 50, same thing. I just tracked that. And on the 2-hour, price had just crossed the 50. On the 1 hour, price was only 113 pips below current market price from the 50. I wrote that we got a cross signal on the 1121, where we are in selling pressure on the short-term time frame. So I wonder if this is here. This, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Got copying over from the other day. So let's go ahead and look at this information here on the chart. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about this red wave, and then we'll look at both the EMAs and the red wave data. And then I'll read it out like I just did, and I'll go over it on the chart. So I'm not flipping back and forth. Okay. Now, the red wave. And I'll show you what that is. That is judging our momentum for that time frame. And so for the day, it is at the bottom. And is it still selling? No. And it's riding the bottom. On the 4-hour, it's riding the top. So we have two time frames that are off. Okay. We all want them ideally for the best setup to be all in the same location. Maybe not, obviously not at the very exact location, like with they're all right at the top and or all right at the bottom. That's a hard play to catch. But if they're going in that direction, and that's very important because I have a story there behind that, traders. When I first started trading, and they would, teach us that you want to make sure that, you don't enter until a certain location of price and that all the other time frames are in alignment. And so I literally thought they were exactly meaning at like this very point, this location of the wave under a certain point. And I was waiting for a long time, like 2-3 hours. And I'm like, certainly they are not waiting for this perfect setup. Like, this is impossible. And so I want to make sure it's really clear that no, I don't mean exactly at that. If you can get that, that's beautiful. But as long as they're all moving down in that direction. And then also, traders, as you spend more time with me, I'll be able to share with you what I've learned in the amount of time frame when you go from overbought to oversold on each time frame, which really helps you as a trader, because if you're an intraday trader, you're like, dang, did I miss the move? Can I still jump in on that 1-hour time frame because it's selling? And I'll show you where you can identify, you know what? No, I better wait. That's almost done. Or you know what? No, I've got plenty of time. I can go ahead and get in with the higher time frames. I might experience a pullback on the lower ones, but I'm even able to pinpoint you down to a certain amount of candles within that time frame. So I'm excited to share that with you, not on this episode, but on ones to come. Okay. So the 2-hour is selling. The 1-hour is buying up. So the higher time frames are selling, overbought, and the lower time frames are turned up and buying up. So the 15-minute at that time was at the top. So that was this morning. So we'll see where price is at now. Okay. And then my conclusion from this information here, I have for the day, now seeing a bit of color on the red wave. Orange is under the 20. So it doesn't seem to matter. We're still selling. So still have maybe the selling pressure on. And then for the 4-hour, price has turned under the 80 just a bit. Okay, so that's at the top. See if it sells down or retests the top. Okay, so 1-hour is overbought, looking to sell down. The momentum is selling down. However, the other wave that takes longer in judging momentum is still buying. So we could still have some more buying available to us. Just depends on what type of trader you are and how you want your objective for your trade. But more on that as you get to know me and we work together. Okay, and then the 2-hour price is selling 194 pips between. Okay, so price is selling, and then if you wanted to say, well, you know what? since it's kind of in this in between area, let me just take TP, exit zones to each wave level. And so that there was with that train of thought in mind. And then I wanted to know for myself then, well, how many pips are between each wave level on that time frame? And 200 pips are. So 200 pips, I think for a trader, you guys would like that. You traders would like that. So Bitcoin can give you some nice intraday setups. And then on the 1 hour, price turned up to see for the buy, but we are under the EMAs on this time frame. Orange is still coming down. So on the 1 hour, price turned up from the bottom over oversold to buying. But the EMAs are above us, that 50 and that 200. So, going against the current, the trend, obviously Bitcoin can do, but just keeping that in mind. And then the 15-minute, we have the 11 and 21 exodus cross for the buy. So see if that sell still holds. All right, so that was some good information. And then after I review this, traders, I'm going to end this go live, this live stream, I mean. And then we'll come back and we'll look at the fib information. So kind of a slow start in the beginning because I'm getting used to this application. And I apologize for it, but we did get into some meat of it. And I want to thank you for joining. So let's go ahead and review this last part of the information by looking at the chart, looking at the EMAs and the data that I have here, and cross-reference it with the actual chart. Boy, that's a tongue twister. So I'd love to see my two viewers. If you mind dropping some comments of where you're joining from, that would be awesome. If you'd like, don't be shy. It might just be me. Wouldn't that be funny? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and pull up the charts and we'll go cross-reference that data. Okay, let's see if it catches up with us. All right, good stuff. So we're now looking at the same chart. And we've been on for an hour. So 2:17 Eastern, my time, live time right now. And looking at this data that we just looked at, let's look at those EMAs. Let's look at those EMAs. Okay, so the 800 on the day. So let's go to the day. All right, now for the day, we're talking EMAs are 800. This 800, this blue line is my 800 EMA. So price is around 1,700 pips away from price. At least it was that amount. It's not going to move in my price and move considerably a lot, but let's go ahead and measure. So that's about 1,600. So, price might have moved about 100 or so, which is correct. Just wait on that delay because it looks like it's buffering, which is no good. Oh, It might have already shown it and it's sitting here waiting on me. I'm looking at that window. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure that again. Price from the 800 is 1,658, and at that time it was like 1763. So okay, so that's what I mean by that data there. Then on the 4-hour, where is price at in regards to the 800? I think what I'll do is actually do all the EMAs on the same time frame, so going back and forth. So let me go back to the day. Okay, there's our 800, and then on the and then for the 200, here's our 200, our red 200. So price is only 878 pips away. So it's moved a bit. It was 1,064 this morning. And our 50 is 1,631 pips above current market price. And now let's see. Oh, this is the day. Good. Yeah. And now let's see where price is at the 50. Okay, 1132. So it's moved a little bit, which is okay. Now look here, traders, we're having a big change in trend here, getting ready to come up. Do you see that? Your 50 EMA and your 200 on the day for Bitcoin. It's getting ready to cross. So that is something that we'll be talking about together, but something very big that we need to look at. Can't get into it right now because that will make the session a lot longer. Okay. Now on the 4-hour, let's go to 4-hour and look at the EMAs. And on the 4-hour, here is our 800. And that was 1756 pips above current market price. Our 200 was 1,138 above current market price. And our 50 price passed it yesterday. Now it went under it, is now selling. That was this morning. So this morning price was down here, right? So we're right at the 50 on the 4-hour. So will price hold this momentum down is what we want to know, or is it perhaps maybe going to bust out of this channel and come up to the 4? We know how Bitcoin loves the 50 EMA as her best friend, always returning to her. So that's already happened. And so what we'll do is we'll look at our waves and see if we still have momentum to the downside. And we do, but our longer term, these are those waves I was telling you about. And if you'd like to have access to these indicators, I'd love for you to join our community. But they are telling us on these two that we're selling, but this one is still has momentum to the upside. So be interesting to see what Bitcoin does. Actually, traders, a play for us is, since the red wave is selling, we could go ahead and we're at the top of the channel. So we could potentially go ahead and take a sell to the bottom of the channel, right? Selling our channel. Our waves are in alignment for it. It's still heading down. We don't have much movement. We have more consolidation. So this here could be a potential setup, stop loss at the top of the channel, or if you want to go up to the 200, but selling down. Let's see what our risk to reward is off of that. How do I keep going there? So if we got in now and we did our stop loss either here, you could do here, or at the 200, before the 200 or above the 200, you might want to go ahead and do that for protection off of the 2, and TP down to the bottom of the channel. That's a 1. So not a 2-to-1 risk to reward if you put your stop loss there. And see if it stays within this channel, which I believe it will. You could put your stop loss underneath here and give yourself a better risk to reward, almost a 2-to-1. Nice. You might not need all that room for your buffer for your stop loss. So this could be an opportunity for you if you want a better risk to reward. But it does look like the opportunity is available. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, we have to go down to the 1 hour. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour. And then I think I'm going to stop because I'm just getting a little bit tired. The 1 hour for our EMAs. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. Okay, it seems Bitcoin's moving right now on the lower time frames. Let's go and look at that really quick. Remember that 4-hour channel for the sell down. Okay, it's at the bottom. See what this thing is doing. Oh, that cross is beautiful, isn't it? Look at that Exodus cross off of the 5. See how you have a huge surge to the downside when you have those cross? It's just beautiful. I mean, that is just total yum yum. Look at all that yum yum. Okay. So high to low fib looks like it's pulling up into the 5061.8 zone for the continuation. We want back down. See if we can get it. I'm going to put that on the right fib. We have it on the other kind. See where it's at in our fib. High to low fib on the 5. High to low on the 5 minute. Okay. So price high to low. We want it to come up into this 5061.8 zone. These two here. That's off of this, way bigger macro move. So price has a bit to go if it wants to pull back up. This can also help you with taking your buy up if you want. Oh, I see I'm losing my stream. But actually, traders, what we see here, let me go ahead and draw that again. High to low. Price came up did not make it up to the 5061.8 zone, did it? This is the zone here. It only pulled up to the 38 of the fib and now has just been staying there. Can't seem to break. So it's already at our take profit zone. It's already at our take profit zone or exit zone. Price is already there. So would be better if we had the pullback up into this zone. Come on. Better to have it pull back up into this zone and then the continuation down to this area. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop for right now. I know we were going to finish that other data, but I'm going to press pause. I have another class at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to take a little rest, get some lunch. Thank you very much for joining me. And we're planning to do more lives. So I hope you stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel. Send me some questions if you have any. And I'll see you in the charts. Thanks, traders.